Hi, I'm Dr. Elliot from ElliotOracle.com, and it's time for this week's Oracle Reveal. So earlier today on Instagram, I placed up a photo with 3 different animals on it. And the animals were the turtle, the hummingbird, and the spider. And I asked you to use your intuition and ask yourself which animal is calling to you, because that animal has a special message for you. So if you're just joining us right now, ask yourself which animal is really calling to you right now, which one's getting stuck in your head. It doesn't have to be your favorite animal, it's just the one that's really kind of getting stuck in your mind. Is it the turtle, the hummingbird, or the spider? For those of you who have picked the turtle is all about grounding in that earth energy and reconnecting with Mother Earth through healing breath and just stabilizing yourself at this time. Turtles are grounding, and so this is a really important time to get grounded and centered. And if we're working with chakras, you might want to do some root chakra work at this time and really just feel planted and rooted in the earth in order to feel confident and strong as you're going through this next week. The first card for turtle people is where it's best to place your focus at this time. And we actually got the Emperor, which is so in alignment with that turtle energy of grounding. You can see the Emperor is firmly planted on his throne here. And he's completely in authority over his life and its direction. Whenever we see the Emperor, he's also got those ram's heads on the arms of his throne, which are symbols for initiation and getting something started. This could be such an important time for you to really get the ball rolling with reestablishing stability again in your life. The Emperor archetype is an archetype for the external world, the things that are outside of you that might need attention. And so this could be a period where you need to leave the home and actually go out into the world and really get the ball rolling with something that you've been thinking about doing for a long time. And it might even be something that you've been learning about for a long time. You see that big white beard with the Emperor, which is a symbol for wisdom and experience. So this could be a time when you're really using your experience to create a better foundation for yourself. The second card for the turtle people is advice from your inner wisdom, and that's actually the Seven of Swords. And this card shows a lot of stuff going on, but number one, we see that thief who's stealing the swords. But if you look in the background, there's that big enemy camp who's invaded his homeland. And they're all deciding how they're going to divide and conquer it. And instead of this indigenous man just fighting the whole army by himself, he's using his wits to overcome a seemingly insurmountable obstacle. He's going in the enemy camp and he's stealing their swords away. And in this way, he's overcoming the challenge without ever having to go to war or even fight. Whenever this card comes up, it's saying you're facing your own challenge. And your inner wisdom right now is telling you that you're smarter than this challenge, but that you need to use your wits. And when we see the Seven of Swords next to the Emperor card, this could just be a time of creating stability again by really getting craftier or smarter than the challenge at hand. And then finally for Turtle, we have this mythic archetype that's going to be helpful for you this next week. And we got Poseidon, the god of the sea. And turtles, they can go on land, but they can also go into the water. And Poseidon is also about that realm of the water. And the water represents your unconscious feelings, your attitudes, your moods, the things that are going on deep within you that periodically you really need to reconnect with in order to get yourself on your own side. Before you can go out into the world and be a success with that Emperor card or even overcome your obstacles with that Seven of Swords, Poseidon is saying it's time to also do some soul searching. It's time to ask how you're really feeling. And it's also time to let your emotions flow. Otherwise, they could be ruling the day from beneath the waves. So that is for turtle people. Next, we have the people who picked Hummingbird, and Hummingbird is always an archetype for joy. So when we're attracted to Hummingbird, we need freedom and color and maybe even to lighten up, especially if things have gotten a little heavy up until now. The first card is advice from your inner wisdom for the Hummingbird, and we have the Messenger of Love, the Knight of Cups. And he's so appropriate for the Hummingbird because the Hummingbird is all about expressing joy. And the Knight of Cups is the messenger of love. He's all about expressing his feelings as well. You can see that he's got the winged helmet and sandals of Hermes, the messenger god. And it's also Mercury in Roman mythology. And so this could be a time to really communicate your feelings or to really share something or express something creatively or something that you've been carrying in your heart. Also, the Knight of Cups is associated with love, and so this could be a time to really reinstitute romance in your life again, or really reconnect with another. And I think that there's some traditions in the Native American traditions that actually used hummingbird feathers as love charms. And so this could, again, have that love connotation. It might be just time to allow your heart to open. Second, we have advice from your inner wisdom for the hummingbird. And we have the Hangman card, which is saying that it's important to stop, turn around, and get a different perspective right now. Instead of being on the way somewhere or always moving towards something, the hangman is giving up the use of his legs for the moment in order to hang upside down. And as he does that, all the energy is pulling to his head and it's starting to glow. And this is giving him great wisdom. So what this is saying is that for the hummingbird, it may be counterintuitive since they flit around so much, but it might be important for you to stop and also to look at something that's in front of you from a different perspective to really alter the way you're approaching it. The hangman is also a card of making sacrifices in the present of comfort or whatever in order for a long-term success. And when we see him next to the Knight of Cups, this could be of being service to somebody else. This could be to help somebody that you actually care about a lot right now. So it could be time to put some of your own plans on hold in order to be supportive of somebody else. And then finally, we have a mythic archetype that's going to be helpful for the hummingbird people. And we got Apollo, the bright god of the sun and truth and divination and light and music. And hummingbird is associated with music as well. So this could be a time where you could do a lot of healing for yourself by stopping and also just expressing yourself through music or just listening to music that uplifts your mood. Whenever we see Apollo, signs and symbols are going to be all around you. And that hangman card could say it's time to stop and pay attention to them and always look at things from a different angle. Apollo is also just that god of divination, so this could be a good time to get a reading for yourself or to give yourself a reading or just to look at signs or symbols and how they pertain to you. And then finally, we have the people who pick the spider, and the spider is the creative animal, and it's the weaver of your destiny. And so this could be a time to work on creative projects or to just get the ball rolling with whatever it is you're trying to weave or create. The first card is where it's best to place your focus for spider, and that's the Ten of Wands. And this is a card of service. It could say that there's a big job ahead for you. But if you look at the man on the Ten of Wands, he's almost crossing that finish line. And so this could be a time where there's a lot of effort, there's this final push to get something going or to get something completed, but it's saying that you totally have the energy to do this and it's time to get this done. The man may look like he's suffering on this card, but he's suffering for the house that's in the background that my finger is covering up. And this is just indicating that the work that you're doing right now is not just going to benefit you, but it's going to benefit a wider community or even just your wider home or family. And so this is a really important time to put that effort into this. The advice from your inner wisdom for the spider people is the Seven of Pentacles. How interesting, we both have these field symbols here. We both have people working outside. And so again, we get the sense that it's time to go out into that external world and really get some sort of job done. The Seven of Pentacles is saying that most of the heavy lifting is over. If you look, all the fields have been plowed and planted, and now this guy is just sitting back and he's watching things grow and manifest. So this could indicate that you've done a lot of effort so far, you've really been giving the things a really big push, and now you're able to sort of sit back and watch things manifest in their appropriate time. The Seven of Pentacles is saying that you're over the hump. And then finally, the mythic archetype for the spider people, an interesting symbol, another field symbol. We got Demeter, the goddess of the grain, the goddess of agriculture in the fields. And so we're getting this symbol really strong for spider people, that there's something you've planted, that there's something that's growing right now, that you're almost at the finish line, and that right now it's just so important to gently tend and cultivate those goals. Demeter is also the mother goddess of change and transformation, and it's important to let go of your old way of life so the new you can be reborn as well. Whenever we see Demeter, she is a reassurance of security and stability, especially for toil or labor or hard work you put into your project. So that is this week's Oracle. I do hope you enjoyed it. And if you do, I invite you to go to ElliotOracle.com and book a personal tarot session with me. These little mini readings are wonderful, but they're nothing compared to a one-on-one session that goes into all of your cares and concerns. Otherwise, I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I will see you again. Take care.